Good evening, everyone, and greetings to you wherever you are joining us from. It's once again Thursday evening, and as usual, we are going to have our distributed training for this evening. I hope that wherever you are getting on well and have started this new month of March well with your goals clearly defined so that we can work towards achieving them in the course of this month. So if you are new, maybe joining us for the first time, my name is Betty Olo, a long-time Neolife distributor, and I'm going to be taking you through our product session for today, which you'll have seen from your invite is going to once again be a Q&A from picking from the questions that you sent us in the course of the past week or two. So I'd like to invite you to sit back and relax, and also thank you for taking the time and your data to join us during this training. As always, our aim is to give you value for your time and your money. And so in this Q&A, I hope you'll find things that are of interest to you in the course of doing your business or in your own personal or family life to see how you can help the people who come to you for assistance in what our products can help in. So without further ado, I'll pick on the first question from, I think, the week before last. And this is another frequent question that we received. Someone wanted to know what products to recommend for high blood pressure or hypertension. And as always, we have a few lifestyle pointers as well as the supplements. And the reason we include the lifestyle pointers is that a lot of the questions that we received are related to lifestyle illnesses, and lifestyle plays an important role in our general health. So for that reason, it's always important to have some points on how to adjust our lifestyle to support better health. Of course, some of the points will be repetitive because good health will help in many aspects of our general. A good lifestyle, a healthy lifestyle will help in many ways our general health. So here the first point is it's important to incorporate exercise and movement in the lifestyle because the cardiac system, the blood circulation system, benefits from exercise in giving our hearts some exercise to strengthen it. Remember, the heart is a muscle, and muscles remain strong and active if they are exercised. Then we also recommend the elimination of processed foods, especially sugar, refined carbohydrates, and other starchy foods, and also eliminating factory fats or seed oils, as they are alternatively called. We also recommend resolving any stressors in your life because they contribute to worsening the high blood pressure, and good exposure to sunshine because the vitamin D is very important for our overall health. So if you are not able to get enough sun exposure, maybe because of your occupation or maybe where you live, then we recommend that you supplement with vitamin A plus D or with vitamin D. Then the other products we recommend to resolve high blood pressure will be lipotropic adjunct, omega-3 salmon oil, garlic allium complex, and magnesium complex. So those will be the ones we recommend for high blood pressure. And just to mention also that high blood pressure often goes hand in hand with type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetes. So it's also related to poor sugar metabolism. So for that reason, changing your diet so that it supports healthy sugar metabolism and the other points that I mentioned, as well as those supplements, should over time help you to normalize your blood pressure. I think I mentioned last time that I do not recommend that you just suddenly stop taking your blood pressure medication if you have been on them. What I would say is you start using the supplements and changing your lifestyle, and you will notice as your lifestyle normalizes, you can discuss it with your doctor so that you adjust the dose. And eventually, over time, as your blood pressure normalizes, you'll be able to go off the medication. Next question, someone wanted to know whether we can become addicted to Neolife supplements. So the question was, are Neolife supplements addictive? What I would say is that these are food concentrates. Our nutritional supplements are food concentrates. Therefore, the question of addiction does not arise. It's simply a way of ensuring that our diet is enriched with food concentrates that fill up any gaps we may have. At any time, if you are a person in good health, there is nothing to stop you from taking a break from taking the supplements if you would like to, and then starting again maybe, where if you start feeling maybe a bit subpar. But there is no question of addiction in this case. It's simply a matter of giving your body what it needs to meet the circumstances under which you live. One of which is that the quality of our food is now no longer so good, and many of us work in situations which make it difficult for us to be able to prepare food as well as we'd like, and so on. So there is no question of addiction. It's simply a question of ensuring that your body has the nutrients it requires for good health. Another person wanted to know if our supplements and skincare products have to be used for a lifetime. And I will speak for myself. Yes, I intend to use our products for a lifetime, simply because they are of good quality. I've found them very helpful in many ways. As you know, one of our son is chronically ill. It has been useful to him. And even for Pascal and myself, we owe quite a bit of our continuing good health to the grace of God, as well as a healthy, more or less healthy lifestyle, and the use of these supplements to help to meet any needs that might be missing from our lifestyle. So you can choose to take a break if maybe your finances are a bit tight. You can choose to just go down to just using 3NN. The reason I say you can go down to using only 3NN is that 3NN helps you to benefit from all the other nutritional items that you add to your diet. So yes, you can take them you can use them lifelong. You can change them as you age to use supplements that maybe are better suited to support you in the aging process. And if you are having a tough time financially, you can discuss within your family, or if you're a customer, with your distributor, to see how you can be able to what you can afford to use from our range. Next question was someone wanted to know what to recommend for ED, also known as erectile dysfunction or impotence. And what we recommend on the lifestyle side is eliminate substance abuse. A lot of time, erectile dysfunction is related to the use of substances like cannabis, excessive alcohol use, and so on. So eliminate those substances so that your body does not have to deal with the toxins and the effects of that they bring with them. Then also try to resolve stress. If your life is very stressful, it can interfere with your sexual performance, because remember, this is related to hormones, and hormones drive very many processes in our bodies. We also recommend increased activity and exercise in your lifestyle, because as men, it is very important for you to have adequate amounts of testosterone. It is not only a sex hormone, it is also a way of gauging the overall health of a man. So it is important to have weight-bearing exercises that will help you to retain muscle. As we grow older, both men and women, we tend to lose some of our muscles, and it's important to have exercises that help us to retain our musculature, in order to keep us able to move, but also for men especially, because testosterone is manufactured in muscles as well as other organs. So on the supplement side, we highly recommend chelated zinc. We recommend herbal masculine complex. And if your protein intake is not adequate, you can add Neolife shake, or you can just take care to make sure that you're taking enough good quality proteins in your diet. Also, I wanted to mention on that same point of erectile dysfunction, some of the medications can actually interfere with your sexual function, and this could be what is causing the erectile dysfunction. One of them is some of the medications used for some of the medication used for high blood pressure. As they reduce the blood pressure in other parts of your body, so will they in your reproductive organs. So another reason to work towards resolving and normalizing your high blood pressure so that you no longer need to take these medications because they could be the ones driving the erectile dysfunction. Okay, but the supplements recommended there are chelated zinc, herbal masculine complex, and also Neolife shake. If your budget allows it, you can use Pro Vitality as well as a general supplement. Okay, then a number of people are asking questions about forgetfulness in school children, and another question was about forgetfulness in an elderly person. So, of course, in the lifestyle side, we opt for healthy food choices. And then we also safeguard enough sleep. Remember, we've often said you need 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night, good quality sleep, because it is during deep sleep that the brain removes toxins and rejuvenates itself. So sleep is very important for our mental function. So if you have got, if you are a parent with children, ensure that you select a bedtime that allows them to sleep for 8 hours, and do what you can to be disciplined about enforcing that bedtime. I know it is not easy. It was always a bit of a cat and mouse game with us, with our children when they were younger. But I think they've reached a stage where they now respect their 7 to 8 hours of sleep and try to get it. But when children are younger, maybe in their adolescent years, they may not realize the importance of getting enough sleep. But it is actually very important. In fact, for adolescents, it's recommended a minimum of 9 hours of sleep. So good luck with trying to convince adolescents to sleep for 9 hours, but that is what the research says. Then we also recommend exercises, because exercise will not only help with energy production and general good health, but it will also make it possible to get good quality sleep. Sun exposure for a minimum of 30 minutes or supplementation with vitamin D is also important on the lifestyle side. So for young people, what we recommend is Formula 4, Mind Enhancement Formula, omega-3 salmon oil, and vitamin A plus D if they are not getting enough sun. Then for our elders, we'll recommend that they use Pro Vitality, Mind Enhancement Formula, and vitamin D or vitamin A plus D, according to what they prefer. So that is what we recommend for greater mental sharpness. And for our elders also, if maybe they are stressed out and struggling to relax at the end of the day, you can add their aloe vera plus, which helps to relax the system, including the digestive system and the other systems, to help to sleep better. Magnesium complex, by the way, is another one that you can add for relaxation and good quality sleep. So we can say they are Pro Vitality, Mind Enhancement, vitamin A plus D or vitamin D, magnesium complex, aloe vera plus. So you can pick what you would like to take, whether it's for the youth or for the elders. Another question was how to support the immune system. I think this comes from the fact that we've been talking, a lot of the questions that we've been dealing with are about autoimmune illnesses. And I think each time we have an autoimmune condition, I always say try to support your immune system so that it is not overstressed and start overreacting. So opt for your cultural traditional diet that is full of good, healthy nutrients as far as possible. So try to minimize the westernized items that contains a lot of processed food that don't seem to work well with us. So try to opt for healthier traditional foods that will your ancestry and yourself have evolved with, and will probably support better immune health. Make sure that you feed the friendly bugs in your gut by making sure you have enough dietary fiber in your diets. If you are not able to do that, then we recommend adding fiber tablets to supplement your nutritional dietary fiber. Then to support your immune system, we recommend again vitamin A plus D or vitamin D. If this, remember also here in Africa, if you live in most parts of Africa, there is plenty of good sunlight. So you can take advantage and get a good amount of sun exposure with your skin exposed so that you can make vitamin D, which more and more research is coming out about how many different ways it helps to maintain our health. This includes our immune system. Then we also recommend omega-3 salmon oil to resolve inflammation. We recommend flavonoid complex, and as I said, fiber tablets if you find that maybe your diet does not have as much fiber as you should be getting. But by adding things like fruits and leafy vegetables, legumes, and nuts, this will ensure that you are getting plenty of dietary fiber, which in which case you will not necessarily need to add fiber tablets to your diet, but just in case you feel that maybe as a result of your dietary preferences, you may want to add that. And the fiber, remember, is not specifically for us. It is in order to ensure that our gut microbes, the friendly microbes in our gut, are well supported so that they also support us in return. Next question was about a young girl who is having heavy menstrual flow. What can be recommended? Here we recommend multimineral alfalfa to ensure that she has all the minerals she needs for replenishing the blood lost through her menstrual flow. We also recommend vitamin B complex for the same reason, and Neolife shake, which can supplement her protein intake, especially if maybe she's in a boarding school or something like that, where maybe she's not getting as much protein in her diet as might be optimal. So you can add Neolife shake to that. So multimineral alfalfa, vitamin B complex, and nutritional shake. If she also suffers from cramps, menstrual cramps, then Calmag can be an addition there. Although, as you know, multimineral alfalfa does contain some amount of calcium and magnesium. But in the case of cramps, you might need to add more Calmag as an extra supplement just to help ease the cramps. The next question was someone wanted to know if omega-3 salmon oil can cause an allergic reaction. And I just wanted to say that allergic reactions usually occur in response to the protein component of a food. So if you have an allergic reaction, it's because there's a protein item to which your body is reacting. Now, omega-3 salmon oil is pure oil, which means there is no protein in it, which means it's unlikely to cause an allergic reaction. And in our years of experience, I've not come across anyone who reacted to omega-3 salmon oil. This is unlikely. But just to say, of course, it is not impossible, because sometimes we confuse intolerance with allergy. So an allergy is an actual reaction to a protein that has been put in the body. Intolerance simply means that you're not able to digest a certain item. So, for instance, if you are lactose intolerant, you do not have the enzymes required to digest the lactose in the milk. But it is not actually a milk allergy as such. So, for that reason, I would say that if someone is very, very sensitive to fish or shellfish, maybe there is a chance of having some kind of intolerance to omega-3 salmon oil. But as I said, an allergic reaction is highly unlikely because of the absence of proteins in omega-3 salmon oil. It is only oil. Then next, we have a question about what to recommend for anemia. So anemia is having a low blood count. And my first recommendation would be to check with a doctor. There can be underlying causes that is driving the anemia, although it could also simply be that there's some nutritional shortages here and there. So apart from checking with your doctor, just to see if there's an underlying cause, you can also increase the amount of red meat in the diet, or white meat also, together with fruits and vegetables. in the diet. Just to know that one of the most important minerals for blood is iron, and iron is vitamin C supports the absorption of iron, because sometimes there may be iron in the diet, it's just that it's not being well absorbed. So for that reason, check with the doctor and eat food that will support the intake of the minerals and proteins that you require for making enough blood. On the supplement side, you can supplement with multimineral alfalfa. It will give you extra iron and several other minerals. You also will add their vitamin C to help with absorption of iron, and you'll also add their vitamin B complex, also an important component for the making of blood. Just remember also that this is general anemia, it's not sickle cell anemia. So sickle cell anemia is for a different reason. That anemia has an underlying cause that is genetic. So the recommendation for sickle cell anemia and normal anemia is not the same. So for instance, we will not recommend multimineral alfalfa for someone with sickle cell anemia. But for someone with the other types of anemia, then multimineral alfalfa will be a good choice. Excuse me. Then someone wanted a recommendation for prenatal supplement for an expectant mom. So here, of course, we recommend a healthy diet with also some exercise. And the supplements that we recommend will be multimineral alfalfa. We recommend Pro Vitality, vitamin B complex, and Neolife shake. So those will be the 4 recommendations for as the backbone of our prenatal supplements. All of them are very important for the developing baby and also, of course, for the needs of the mom. Then another question was about tonsillitis and recurrent tonsillitis. So the first, of course, if it's a tonsillitis is appearing for the first time, it would be a good idea to consult a doctor so you get antibiotics to clear the infection. If the infection keeps on recurring or fails to heal, that is when we speak about recurrent tonsillitis. It would be important on the lifestyle side to warm salt water mix, so warm water with some salt, to gargle it at the end of the day, and also to maintain good oral hygiene. If there is poor oral hygiene, some of the bacteria from the mouth could be responsible for the recurrence of the infection, because tonsillitis is usually from an infection. Then we recommend the use of the following supplement: vitamin C, which helps with a lot of this type of issues. We also recommend herbal respiratory complex, garlic allium complex. That is for adults. So one question was for adults and one was for children. So for adults, we recommend vitamin C, sustained release. We recommend herbal respiratory complex as well as garlic allium complex. Then for small children, we recommend VitaGuard and All C to help them with this issue of recurrent tonsillitis. This problem there are people who do tend to have it, and it may run in families, problem with tonsillitis. So you can take care with gargling with brine for the adults. For children, they may not quite know how to do it. And just help the children to maintain good oral hygiene by regular brushing their teeth in the morning and at night before they go to sleep. But I do not recommend using mouthwash. That is not a good idea at all, because mouthwash kills everything. As you see in the mouthwash, it says it kills 99.9% of all bacteria, which means it kills the friendly ones. We do have friendly bacteria in our mouths, which support us. So we don't want to kill all of them. So for that reason, not mouthwash, simply get a good toothbrush and a good toothpaste. You don't need a large amount of toothpaste, but you do need to make sure that the children don't go to sleep without having brushed their teeth. So after their last meal, they should brush their teeth. And in the morning also. Then another frequent question was about fibroids. So here, if I take a bit of time just to say that on the lifestyle side, there are a number of points. Eliminate environmental toxins, for example, pesticides, food colorants, preservatives, and artificial sweeteners as well. Foods that are made with preservatives can be problematic. Avoid storing and microwaving food in plastic containers. Opt for ceramic, glass, or what is the stuff called that we used to use? Enamel. Maybe metal that is coated with enamel for storing food, or stainless steel if you can get that. So change the food containers that you store your food in. Then also, and this is because plastic does tend to leach into the food, especially foods which have oil in them. If it is dry food, it's okay to keep it in plastic. But if it is, let's say, a stew, a meat stew that has fat in it, or some other food that has fat, rather use an enamel container, or you can even just use a bowl and cover it with cling wrap or foil. If you do not have glass and so on. I know glass is problematic because it's delicate, but well, some of these issues are beginning to come out as being quite important. Then eat non-processed food or minimally processed food as much as you can. Eliminate sugar and the other problem foods that we often speak about. Fibroids are mostly not cancerous, but can affect fertility. Can negatively affect fertility and increase the chances of miscarriage depending on where the fibroid is located. So when of course, it's important to eat a healthy diet with good proteins. So if you're eating meat and dairy, opt for animals that have not been treated with hormones. So for example, our homegrown kienyeji chicken, for those, many of us are in East Africa, you know what I mean. Milk which has been produced from cattle that are not treated with hormones, and wild caught fish. Farmed fish in some cases can actually be treated with hormones. So take care that these hormones are kept at a minimum in your food. It's not possible to completely eliminate because many of the hormones we take, like for example, many women are on hormonal birth control. A lot of these hormone residues are going to end up in our waterworks because they get into the toilet, and the water in the toilet eventually will get into our water systems, which is unfortunate. But that just means that you need to think about the quality of water you are taking. You can get a water purifier, or you can find people who produce purified water that can ensure that you are not getting large quantities of these substances. We have supplements that we recommend for fibroids. Number one, Cruciferous Plus, our heavy hitter for helping our body to get rid of unwanted growths. We also recommend Herbal Feminine Complex, Beta Guard to deal with toxins. And we also recommend multimineral alfalfa if the fibroids are accompanied by heavy bleeding. Next question was about GERD, which is heartburn and heartburn type of condition. So GERD medication, the common medication recommended for GERD are not good for long-term use because the side effects compound over time and have some damaging effects. So this is another situation where I highly recommend that you use supplements and lifestyle to resolve your GERD issues. So one of the things that the GERD medications can do is to interfere with the absorption of some important nutrients. So the lifestyle points for GERD will be avoid sleeping, avoid lying down soon after a main meal, because this worsens the hyperacidity or heartburn. It used to be called hyperacidity because it was thought that you are producing too much acid, but it's becoming clear that that is not the reason. We also recommend to try to avoid and identify and avoid trigger foods. Certain foods are more likely to cause heartburn than others. If you notice something is giving you heartburn, then simply, at least for a time, eliminate it from your diet until you resolve the issue. Another lifestyle thing that can help is taking a small amount of apple cider vinegar before a full meal. Some people find that helpful. And also take enough salt in your food so that you can get the good acid environment in your stomach, which actually needs to be very acid. Then we recommend vitamin B complex, we recommend magnesium complex, chelated zinc, and multimineral alfalfa. So they are the lifestyle points as well as the supplements that you can use. Remember, this is an important condition to resolve so that you do not need to take the medication over a long term. Also, that sometimes if it is not resolved, it can worsen ulcers. So certain medication, by the way, just to mention some medications like certain types of painkillers like brufen and so on have also been identified as worsening issues like this gut and ulcers in the gut. Next, someone wanted to know about spondylosis, which is a problem to do with the backbone and the way that the backbone is aligned. So my first recommendation for spondylosis or spondylitis, which is when there is inflammation as well in the backbone and the disc supporting it. The first thing is visit your physiotherapist or chiropractor. They'll recommend exercises that will help in strengthening and realigning your backbones so that they are well situated to avoid this issue. Maintain good posture when you're sitting. So don't sit slumping, sit upright as always, because sitting is already not a normal position for us to spend prolonged periods. We are meant to be standing or lying down, or squatting is actually a good position. Many of us have reached a stage in my life where squatting is quite difficult. But so sitting is not the best of positions to spend time in. So try to maintain a good upright posture when you're sitting and avoid prolonged sitting if at all possible. Then the supplements that will help in rebuilding the problematic issues in the backbone will be full motion, CalMag, and omega-3 salmon oil to help to reduce the inflammation that accompanies the spondylosis. Then another question was about eczema in an adult. This is a skin inflammation condition. So there are some lifestyle points here. The first thing is that there can be environmental causes for the eczema, such as allergens, toxins, irritants from skincare things, and residues from substances like tobacco. Tobacco is very bad for the skin. And then we also, eczema can be the result of an autoimmune reactions. Stressors can also worsen eczema, and hormonal changes also tend to accompany them. This can be as a young person is entering puberty, or an older person is entering menopause. It can be accompanied by these skin issues. So avoid triggers where possible, and opt for a good, mild, good quality skincare product as to what we have in our range. And so we recommend from Neolife vitamin A plus D. We recommend chelated zinc, flavonoid complex, and for the skin, we recommend using gentle makeup remover, which is a very nice cleanser that does not agitate and irritate the skin, and also aloe vera gel to apply on the face. I think this eczema might be on the face or wherever it is on the body. Aloe vera gel is very good for helping this to start the healing process for the skin. So there are the recommendations. Then we also have a question. I think we are having this for a number of time. Having kidney cysts. This was a cortical kidney cyst. Just to mention, to check for this person, ask them to check for type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetes, which is often linked to some of these kidney issues. Then we recommend vitamin B complex. We recommend multimineral alfalfa. And if there is issues such as pre-diabetes or diabetes type 2, we recommend botanical balance to help resolve the root cause of the problem. Another question was about frequent nosebleeds. So there can be an need to investigate an underlying cause for the frequent nosebleeds. It could be high blood pressure. It could be clotting disorders. It could be that if it's a young person, they are picking or rubbing or irritating their nose in some way. It could also be an anomaly in the way the nose is formed. And it can also be that a person is in an air-conditioned room for long periods and the air is dry. So dry air can actually contribute, not lead to, but can contribute. If you have a tendency to nosebleeds, it can contribute to irritating the nose. So this is if there is no underlying cause that is driving the problem, then we recommend multimineral alfalfa. We recommend vitamin C, which helps with the absorption of iron and the healing of membranes, and also recommend flavonoid complex to assist with this. But I highly recommend to investigate what could be the underlying cause. People with, by the way, again, just I almost forgot, people with sickle cell anemia do tend to have periods of a lot of nosebleeds, which can require some intervention in case it is getting out of hand. But for that, you need to see your pharmacist or your doctor. Arthritis was a question from someone. So this, I'm assuming, was osteoarthritis because it was not indicated. So this may be, in some cases, thought to be due to age or can be rooted in some injury that took place and the joint did not heal in the correct places so that the joint is misaligned. And this can eventually lead to wearing off of the cartilage. So first thing is avoid trigger foods. Some people with arthritis notice that some foods make their pains and hardships worse. So for some people, it is nightshade foods such as tomatoes, brinjals, and that family. For some people, it's wheat. And try to remain active, even though it might be difficult. You can try to be active without putting too much irritation on the affected joint, but don't be completely inactive. And the reason for that is that joints require the fluids in them to circulate, and this circulation requires that the joint is moving. So try your best, even if it's just light movement, that the joint is not completely immobilized as a result of the discomfort. Then get adequate sun exposure because the vitamin D is going to ensure good calcium absorption. And then opt for foods that support joint health. So there'll be things like egg yolk is very good for our joints, leafy green vegetables, fermented foods, and healthy fats. All these are good for our joints. Supplement those with our Neolife supplements, full motion, very good for rebuilding cartilage. We recommend Pro Vitality and we recommend Calmag. If your budget allows it, you can also add botanical balance and magnesium complex. These help with relaxation and also with reduction of inflammation, which accompanies arthritis. Then the next was hydrocele. This is a condition in which there is a fluid in the bag of the testicles, that is a scrotum, can be fluid filled. And it is common in premature baby boys. And often it will resolve on its own. So if this question was about an infant, I would recommend waiting to see if it will resolve on its own. If it does not, unfortunately, you may need to discuss with your doctor whether surgery may be required. Then supplements that can help if in case the hydrocele issue is nutrition related will be cruciferous plus, omega-3 salmon oil, and garlic allium. So that will be in an adult person who has hydrocele. Then I think my last question for today, because I'm heavily eating into Pascal's time, will be genital warts. So genital warts will normally are associated with a viral infection, human papillomavirus, which is passed through skin-to-skin contact. And here it will probably be sexual contact. And then also we recommend here opt for a healthy diet and a healthy lifestyle. Then we recommend to help the body to fight against the virus will be vitamin C, chelated zinc, and vitamin B complex. Okay, so I think that I will thank you at this juncture very much for having spent the time. I know that I will not have got to all the questions, but the Thursday after next, God willing, we'll have another Q&A. I want to thank you very much for having spent the time. I hope that you found, even though your question was not in our list today, I hope you found that the questions that were answered were of interest to you. And so now, without further ado, let me hand you over to Pascal, who is going to take you through the business session for today. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Good night.
Thank you very much, Betsy. I think that was quite a load of information. I was taking some notes because I remember some distributors sent me questions and they happen to be answered this evening. So it will give me an opportunity to answer them. Friends, what I want to excuse me, what I want to share with you this evening are two things. The first is prospecting. Prospecting is one of the most important skills we need to develop to grow our business. Prospecting simply means if you meet somebody, they're a suspect. If you ask them the qualifying question and you see their interest is up, then they become a prospect. So there's a difference between a suspect and a prospect. But how do you prospect people for your business? How do you prospect people to become business builders like you? Or they may just be prospects to be customers. You never know. People join our business for different reasons. So prospecting, what process does it take? The first thing you need to do is remember you're looking for business builders, if that is your aim, to look for people who will help you grow your team and grow your business. So you're looking for business builders. And the reason why you need to do that is that business builders are the ones that help you grow the team. Okay? Business builders and customers, those two are the ones that help you grow your business. I think the reason why Betty and I took a very short time to make a decision is because we were looking, we were searching for something to do. So you're looking for business builders, have that in your mind. Number two, write a list of 200 prospects, 200 people that you think may be interested in the business. Now, maybe I need to rephrase that statement. Write a list of 200 people, because the next thing I was going to say, do not prejudge. What does it mean? It means that don't look at somebody, they may look, I don't think this person will be interested. That's a person who will either be interested to join or they will lead you to somebody who will grow your business. So do not prejudge. Number two is that write their names down. Number three, take their names off the list. That simply means speak to them about the business. Okay? So write a list of 200 people. Do not prejudge. Write their names down and speak to each one of them one at a time. The reason why you need 200 names or more is if you have a name list of 10 people and you speak to 8 people and none of them is interested in the business, you're already stressing because you think that this business doesn't work. So if you had 10 people in the list and 8 said no, it means only 20% are remaining in your list to be spoken to. But if you have a name list of 200 people, if you speak to 8, you still have 192 people to speak to. Then it's easy for you to say, okay, this business actually will work. Let me just take time and go through the list of people that have written down. About, I think a month ago, we attended, 3 weeks ago, we attended Eagle Team Mini Rally in Johannesburg. And Alta Bolton said something that stuck in my mind. This business, you have to go through the doors. You have to let everybody pass through the door of your business. Don't close the door to anybody. However they look, whoever they are, whatever background they have, let them pass through the door of your business and have a look. Because you don't know who it is who will either see the business immediately or will join the business, play around with it, and become very successful later in life. I mean, I remember the story of Mike Van Deventer. I think the first 3 years, they didn't do much in the business. So let people pass through your door to take a peep, take a look at our business. Write the names in a notebook. Don't try and keep the names in your mind. Your mind is very powerful, but a blunt pencil is always better than a good memory. Number 3, keep adding new names to your list every day. Why do you need to do that? Because every day you meet somebody you did not know yesterday. So keep adding names to your list daily. Number 4, be alert to people around you. Why is that important? Because the people around you may be interested, but if you're not alert, you will just meet somebody, see them, and you don't take an interest. That person may have been looking for our business. That person may have been praying for an opportunity like the one we have in our business. So be alert to people around you. In fact, when you get very excited about this business, everybody is a suspect who is converted to a prospect when you put their names in the list and you ask them the qualifying question. Then the next thing you need to do is you need to learn how to invite people correctly to see the business. Why is that important? I think inviting is one of the top skills we need to develop to grow a successful business. You may have a list of 200 people, but if you haven't learned how to invite them properly to look at the business, your business will not grow. So invite. You're looking for people who are looking. Inviting is a gateway skill of our business. If you learn to successfully invite people to look at our business, your business will grow. Okay? And this inviting has to become part of your daily method of operation. It has to be something that you do on a daily basis, talking to people and inviting them to have a look at the business. Create an atmosphere of trust. Why is that important? People will join your business if a number of things happen. 1, they know you. 2, they trust you, they like you. Number 3, they trust you. If those 3 things are there, people are likely to have a look at your business. And then you need to invite them to an event or invite them to watch a tool or to have a look at a tool. What is a tool? A tool is either a video, a Zoom meeting, a magazine, a CD, product catalog. Things that does not require your direct involvement are called tools. And why is it important to have tools? Because even a new person who is 2 or 3 days old in the business can give a prospect a tool. For example, if you sponsor somebody today, you do the getting started business, you ask them to prepare a list of 10 people, and you teach them how to invite for somebody to look at the video. Say, look, so-and-so, I've just started a business today. I want you to take a look at our business. I want to send you a video. If I send it to you now, will you watch it? Person will say, yes, I'll watch it. How long is the video? The video is only 10 minutes. When do you think you'll watch it? Then you keep quiet. The person will say, oh, I can watch it now. I said, okay. And it means if I call in 2 hours, or if I call you tomorrow morning, you'll have watched the video. They say, yes, I'll have watched the video. Okay, I'm going to send you the video now. Tomorrow, let's talk about the content of the video. Then you send the video. What the tool does the explanation for you about how the business works. The same is a Zoom meeting. The same is an event that you invite them to. The same is a magazine. The same is a CD. Tools are very powerful things that help in the duplication process. And then ask the right questions, the qualifying questions. Are you open to look at a business concept that you can build using social media? Or are you open to look at a business concept that you can work part-time to grow your business or to grow your income? Okay, but 4 key things are very important in the inviting process. First, you need to detach yourself emotionally from the outcome. Why is this important? Because if you feel bad when people say no, you're going to have a rough time in this business. In the beginning, all of us feel bad when people say no. I remember when Betty and I started, I saw this business very clearly. And when I talked to people about it and they said no, I'd be very upset. I wouldn't understand why they're saying no to this fantastic business. So detach yourself emotionally from the outcome. If you do that, it means either whether they say yes or no, it makes very little difference. Of course, you'll be excited if they say yes, they want to do the business. But detach yourself emotionally from the outcome. 2, be yourself. Be the same person you are 24/7. The same person you are if they meet, you don't sound different. 3, be enthusiastic about the business. Your tone of voice, your friendliness, the way you speak to people is very attractive to people if it's enthusiastic. Then be bold and confident about what you're talking about. Confidence is what attracts people to the business. And then use the tools. Tools are very, very, in fact, I would say that if you really want to grow a global business, a business that grows with or without you, learn how to use the system, learn how to use the tools. The system is just a series of procedures, tools, and events that we use to grow our business. Tools is part of the system. Those are two separate things, okay? So use your tools. But as you use your tools, there's something else I would like to share with you today. You know, one of the really great books that was written in 1937 is a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. It's a masterpiece. It's one of the classical books written in 1937, but up to now, that book is still relevant. That book does not change with technology. That book does not change with time. Why? Because the principles are timeless. So I think in the next few weeks, I would like to take time to go through some of the lessons from that book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. The first one is to talk about a very important people skill. The first thing about dealing with people is avoid criticism and look for the good you see in people. I read a quote one time by St. Francis de Sales. A drop of honey attracts more bees than a barrel of vinegar. A good word, a kind word, an appreciation for somebody, even if they have done wrong, builds your relationship with them better than criticism. Okay? So remember this. It's a small saying, but it makes a lot of sense. A drop of honey attracts more bees than a barrel of vinegar. So learn to say positive things about the people, especially 2 kinds of people. 1, your prospects. 2, your distributors. Because sometimes, let me say you set up an appointment with the prospect, they're supposed to come, if they're either late or they don't call you, don't pick up the phone and start calling them. You said you'd be here at 2 o'clock and you're not here. What's wrong with you? You just lost that prospect. What you need to say, oh, by the way, I thought we had a meeting at 2 o'clock. What happened? When you ask the question that way, you're actually looking for the reasons why they are late. And they will tell you. Or if it's a prospect, your distributor, whom you're expecting to come for the training and they didn't come, don't pick up the call and say, why didn't you come for the meeting? They say, oh, we had a very fantastic meeting and we missed you. Is there something serious that happened? Be very diplomatic about the way you speak to people, because speaking to people with kindness attracts people to you, and people realize that you appreciate them as human beings, not as a PV machine. Okay? So remember this. A drop of honey attracts more bees than a barrel of vinegar. Number 2, give honest and sincere appreciation. Why is that important? Because people like to be complimented about what they do. And that is why in our business, we have recognition of every month end. Give honest and sincere appreciation. Don't just tell somebody, oh, you did a very good job. No, it has to be specific. So and so, I really like the way you dress. You always put on matching shoes, a good suit, and you look very attractive. Or you look like a businessman. Or if they sponsor somebody new, send them a message. Oh, congratulations on sponsoring a new distributor this month. Give honest and sincere appreciation. And people know the difference between appreciation and flattery. Flattery, you're doing to make yourself feel good. Appreciation, you're doing it to make the other person feel good. Very big difference. And people will sense whether you're flattering them, or people will sense if you're giving them honest and sincere appreciation. So think about this, your customers, your prospects, the people in your team. Even if a distributor in your team is doing 5 PV, appreciate that 5 people, because if you had 3,996 PV, you still need that 5 PV to reach 4,000. So appreciate the little things that people in your team do. If they're struggling with life, they're struggling with the PV, the TV is not growing, what you need the most is to build friendship with that person, not to criticize them because they're not doing the business, or they're not generating PV. Remember, distributors are people, so treat them aside. And number 3, arouse in them an eager want. What does that mean? I was reading in a book a story of a lawyer. Him and his daughter wanted to bring the cow to a shed. The lawyer would push the cow and the girl would pull the cow, but the cow refused to go into the shed. They tried this for a long time and they couldn't manage. And then the house girl came, just observed what they were doing and burst out laughing. What she did, she took some salt and put in her finger, and then she gave the cow to lick, and eventually led the cow into the barnyard or into the shed. Very simple. Why? Because the house girl aroused the interest of the cow. So if you want people to do things, make sure that you teach them how to do what they want. That is why in our business, you ask a qualifying question. For example, asking a question, what income level would it make it worthwhile for you to do the business? Remember, you ask them what they want, not what you want. And that's very important. Ask people questions, treat them so that you satisfy their needs, not yours. If you learn to do these things, you will find that you'll begin to attract the right people, you'll begin to make friends, and there'll be good relationships in your team. So the 3 things I wanted to share with you this evening about people's skills. 1, treat people with kindness. Instead of criticizing, compliment people. Number 2, give honest and sincere appreciation. If you do that, you're going to build a good relationship with your team members. Number 3, arouse in others the eager want. That means help them to want what they want, not what you want. If you do these 3 things on a constant, continuous basis, you will find that you will start building good relationship with people. You will start building good relationship with your team members. When people have problems, they're likely to come back to you. And every time they hear your phone call, they see your message, they're very excited. And you'll find that people actually start building the business. Why? Because of the way you treat them. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank all of you very much for spending this time with Betty and myself so that we share some things with you this evening. Before we finish, I want to suggest 3 things. We've started a new month of March. I would suggest you set 3 goals for yourself. Number 1, set your personal PV goals. How much PV do you want to move this month? Number 2, personal sponsoring. How many new people you want to sponsor in the business? And number 3, what step do you want to make? Sit down with your team. let them set these goals. Just make sure, as I've said, let people set their own goals. Don't set it for them. Set yours, guide others to set theirs according to the way they see. And then every end of the week, review where you are with your team. Eventually, you will start that people will be self-motivated and they'll build their team. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank all of you very much for spending this evening with us. Good night and God bless.